But coming up now, a 10-round super welterweight bout. Let's go back ringside. This is Barry Tompkins.
All right, thanks very much, Cuss. And we move along now to our second fight of the evening. First one, very entertaining affair. This one is likely to be the same. It's in the super welterweight division. We're going 10 rounds. Jesús Ramos, a decided favorite in this fight against Luke Santamaria. And he's one of those guys who falls into that category, I think, of live dog. Santamaria comes into the ring, record of 13-2-1, not a lot of experience. In fact, he has been fighting at 154 pounds, or rather fighting at 147 pounds, jumps up to 154 for this fight, but he does plan to go back down to 147, which is more comfortable for him after this fight. He just said, this is an opportunity I can't turn down. And he also wants to avenge the loss of his uncle, Abel Ramos. I beg your pardon, that's Jesús wants to change that around for his uncle, and it was Santamaria who beat Jesús Ramos' uncle, Abel Ramos. So Abel says, I'm going to take care of the family name here. Undefeated in his 18 fights, 15 knockouts so far. He's a left-hander, considered a very good prospect, and we're going to learn a lot about him tonight. He has sparred with Terrence Crawford. He's taken lessons from Floyd Mayweather, so he feels he is on the right path to get things done in this 154-pound division. So we'll see what he's got tonight against the guy who beat his uncle as a last-minute substitution, oh, by the way.
And we'll take a look at the numbers for this matchup. As Barry mentioned, Santamaria jumping up to the 154-pound division. Ironically, even though he's jumping up, he's weighing a little bit more than Ramos. A key element could be the reach edge for Ramos. He thinks that's going to help him get to the elusive Santamaria. And I'm going to weigh in quickly. I think Santamaria is not that big an underdog in this fight. I think the odds are a little off.
All right, with that, we go to the center of the ring and a ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr. Jimmy?
Well, fans, from Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York, Premier Boxing Champions presents our next attraction in the ring. Once again, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Showtime. Our judges scoring this bout from ringside, we have from New Jersey, Mark Cosentino. From Connecticut, Ken Ezzo, and from New Jersey, Steve Weisfeld. Presenting a third man to the ring, he'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Arthur Mercanti. All right, fans, here we go, 10 rounds of boxing scheduled, super welterweights in the ring. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with green trim, fighting out of Los Angeles by way of Garden Grove, California. He weighed in at the super welterweight limit of 154 pounds with a record of 13 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. He has 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing the super welterweight world contender, Luke Santamaria. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner in this 10-round attraction, wearing red trunks with white and gold trim and hailing from Casa Grande, Arizona. He weighed in at 153.5 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 18 wins, no losses, 15 wins coming by way of knockout. He is ranked the WBO number 9 contender. Here is the exciting southpaw and undefeated rising super welterweight contender, introducing Jesús El Mono Ramos. And a referee in charge now to give instructions, Arthur Mercanti.
Good evening, gentlemen. You received your rules early in the night. I expect you to obey these rules. Let's have a nice, clean fight. Touch gloves. Good luck to the both of you.
So here we go, round one. Jesús Mano Ramos and Luke Santamaria, given name Lucas, but goes by Luke.
And while he's trying to create an upset tonight, Santamaria has won by upset in 3 of his last 4 fights. Not just the Ramos fight against Mikhail Fox, big, tall lefty, like Ramos is a lefty, and also against former champ Devin Alexander. Both those fights he was the underdog. He was the underdog against Paul Kroll too, but lost the decision. So he knows what it's like to go in there as an underdog and come out with a victory. We'll see if he can do it tonight.
Ramos, on the other hand, comes out of Casa Grande, Arizona, and that is like right between Phoenix and Tucson.
Yeah, and another thing that we hope to see tonight, or at least Ramos, is, you know, to hurt Santamaria. Santamaria got hurt in the first round against his uncle in his last fight.
Yes.
Early on in the first round with the left hook. So we'll see if Ramos took notes on that and tries to catch him with it.
Yeah, Ramos feels that his uncle fell in love with that left hook in the rest of that fight, and that's part of the reason why he didn't get to Santamaria. So we'll see.
So he might not throw it too early, right?
No, maybe. I don't know. And Santamaria, by the way, fighting as a righty, he will switch to lefty during the course of this fight.
First round, like most, feeling out right now.
Yeah, and as the taller fighter that you are, Ramos, you know, keeping him at bay. Good distance, pawing the jab.
Ramos has a big body. He's
going to be a 160-pounder before his career.
Yes, I was going to say he definitely looks bigger than 154. Obviously, he's not, but
yeah, he feels he can stay at this weight for a while to hopefully become a champion. And of course, God knows this is a rough division to become a champion and the most talented in boxing.
It was a good left hand by Ramos, but good from Santamaria. He came right back with his own.
Ramos trying to reach to the body, or rather Santamaria trying to reach to the body.
And that's a really good punch that Santamaria has, the straight right hand to the body. He'll keep throwing it all night, especially against a taller fighter.
And whatever happens here in this round, however it's scored, however people look at it, Santamaria is happy with the way this fight's being fought because he's able to move, he's able to not get cornered and counter a little bit.
That was a good body shot, and he managed to shed the jab of Ramos.
And of course, Ramos has fight-changing power, so at any moment he can change a fight.
15 knockouts in his 18 wins. All told, though, pretty good first round for Santamaria.
Nice round.
We look at what these men need to do to win this fight, our keys to victory. And for Ramos, cut off the ring. He was not able to do that in round number 1. He wants to be better at that. Be responsible defensively because Santamaria can counterpunch very well. And the straight left hand is a real big power punch for him. It scored a knockout in his last fight, so he's got power in that punch. As for Santamaria, who took the George Foreman route by standing in between rounds, he must flurry and then move, and he did that in round 1. He's got a really good double left hook as a right-hander. He'll try and use that several times against Ramos, and got a very sneaky uppercut on the inside, especially as a counterpunch. We'll see if he can use that.
So we come to round 2, an effective first round, I thought, for Santamaria.
Yeah, and whether you score it for him will depend on whether you think he landed enough punches, but stylistically, he did the job.
Yeah, Luke Santamaria, when he boxes, he's really hard to hit, really. He's a good boxer. He knows how to use his legs. And like you mentioned, he's a great counterpuncher. As he's moving, he feels a punch, he comes right back with his own.
You know, against righties, Ramos averages 20 more punches per round than he does against lefties. So we'll see if Santamaria turns to lefty, does that reduce the output for Ramos?
Even then, you might sense that Ramos is getting his distance, but really it's Santamaria, like you mentioned earlier, he likes that because Ramos is not getting any clean punching.
Yeah, exactly. And then he wants to do that. He wants to try and cut. Now, he didn't land those punches, but he wants to try and flurry and then get out. For Ramos, he's got to cut off the angle a little bit more. And there's that straight left from Ramos. It can hurt people.
Yeah, he wants to make his punch count.
Meantime, Santamaria fighting a technical fight and a very smart fight thus far.
Oh, sorry, bro.
In his last fight against Vladimir Hernandez, Ramos starched him with a straight left, and that was in round 6 after Hernandez had given him a tough fight. So he's capable of just changing a fight with one punch, and there is that left hand.
Good left hand. Right behind it was a little bit short.
Yeah, but another thing, like he said about his uncle, that his uncle fell in love with that left. You don't want him falling in love with that straight left either. You want to let your hands go a little bit more if you're Ramos.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
And he's not.
Yeah, it's a very good point, Abner.
Both those caught on the glove of Ramos.
But that's the counterpunching that we're talking about, Santamaria. Not easy to do, especially against a tall fighter.
There was the uppercut from Santamaria. It didn't land, but he's willing to try that on the inside.
Yeah, and right at the moment, outworking Ramos.
Don't push,
Yeah, a little bit in this round for sure.
Slapping left hand, but effective nonetheless. Ramos steps in, took a left hand.
Keep it clean, that's it.
Well, the end of round 2, and we go to once again to Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Barry, thank you very much. I'm here with Jose Valenzuela. He knocked out Vargas in the first round, a minute and a half in, not too long ago, back in April. You're here tonight, and you've come on really strong at 12-0. What would you like to do now, and where do you think you fit in this 135-pound division?
I think, I fit in there with all these top guys. I would love to fight a good undefeated fighter or a top fighter. There's a lot of names out there. Pitbull, Cruz, Michelle Rivera. I ran into him today, and all these guys that are at the top. I want an opportunity.
And how far do you think you are away from the top guys? Cambosis, Ryan Garcia, Haney, and the main event guys?
I think I'm ready, but if I'm being realistic, probably early next year.
How do you see the main event?
I'm going to go 50-50. It's a good
50-50.
It's a good fight, man. Rolly's a strong fighter. You can't overlook him, especially when they're giving him an opportunity of a lifetime,
All right, great to see you, Jose. We look forward to your next time on Showtime.
Thank you, man.
All right, Barry, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Jim. We come to round 3 here. A fight that Santamaria is, well, I was going to use the term holding his own, but he might be doing a little bit better than holding his own thus far.
Yeah, no, definitely doing a lot more than just holding his own. Doing exactly, I think, what he wants to do, which is box against a taller fighter. Believe it or not, Santamaria counterpunching, waiting. Because Ramos is, I don't want to call him a slow fighter, but, you could almost time his punches, and that's what Santamaria is trying to do.
Yeah, Ramos missing a lot, not throwing a lot of punches. There was a right hand got there.
Ramos felt that his longer reach would allow him to get some of those punches, and he has gotten a number of them in. The question is it enough to win these rounds? And it may be. But he hasn't been able to cut the distance as much as I think he would like, and he certainly has yet to corner Santamaria in the corner against the ropes.
If he were to there it is. If he throws the 1-2, he let go of the hook as well.
Yeah.
3-point combination, speaking of Ramos, but he's not. He's just choosing to throw 2 at a time.
It's been a little one-dimensional for him in terms of the attack. You're right.
Yeah, right now it is. And Santamaria really being the aggressor.
Pull that in.
Well, listen, Santamaria is a very talented boxer.
Good left hand, though, from Ramos.
Yeah, Ramos has, again, fight-changing power, and at any moment he could change this fight. But coming into this fight, it's foolhardy to think that Santamaria's boxing couldn't keep him in this fight. And good defense here by Ramos, but the left hook getting him downstairs.
That was a nice little combination.
Yeah.
Right hand to the head, left hand to the body.
Yeah, he's getting in a lot more Ramos now. That's where you want to do. That's exactly. I like how you just closed that guard, got in, let go of the body shots and headshot.
Yeah, 3 body shots and then came upstairs.
For the first time, Santamaria switches to lefty, but he's right back to righty. So I don't know if he wants to be a lefty much in this fight. There's that little hook to the body. Here's what I think Santamaria should do with that, and double with that left hook. And I put that in the keys. I think he could do that.
There's a right hand.
Oh, wow. Oh, man.
Was it a headbutt? I didn't see it.
I don't know. He
bit of
landed
both,
the
yeah.
right hand.
But that's the counter punching that we're talking about. Santamaria, perfect.
Clearly bothered Ramos. I don't know if it hurt him, but it certainly bothered him.
Doubled with the left hook, Santamaria.
Again, this is a pretty good round for Santamaria.
This one I think is even better than the first couple. And it was a clash of heads that created the main problem for Ramos. Yeah, that was where he was hurt. And a right hand would come after that, but it was the clash of heads that actually kind of stunned Ramos. And I think that was just a matter of, I don't know if that was intentional, obviously. And you see it affected him.
It didn't look like it was on the brow of the eye. It looked like it was up on the head.
Nice and calm, nice and calm. Start getting your punches together and keep him at your distance. He's trapping you, he's trying to trap you, so beware.
Let's go. Seconds out. Get the buckets. Let's go.
So this is round 4, and Santamaria more than holding his own thus far.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how the judges see these early rounds. While he's boxing effectively, the pressure is coming from Ramos, and we'll see how how it manifests itself. But clearly, stylistically, Luke Santamaria is doing what he needs to do to stay in this fight for sure.
I think you can make an argument for his having won the first 4 rounds, first 3 rounds.
Maybe, I don't know, or you can go the other way. I mean, I think this is just a tough one. It could be. I think he won round 3.
Shows you why you and I aren't judges.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of those fights, where you could judge the aggression from Ramos. He lands clean punches here and there, but Santamaria's counter punching is really what I'm liking.
Yeah,
I agree.
Doing a good job. I thought in round 3, Santamaria did a really nice job with that. And Santamaria is staying as a righty, which I honestly think is a good idea. I think that's a better ploy for him than turning lefty too much in this fight.
The only time he did switch lefty was when Ramos got in really close, let his hands go a lot more. That was just to confuse him. But yeah, you want to stay righty if you're Santamaria.
Santamaria giving him a lot of movement, lateral movement.
Ramos had an 8-week training camp in Las Vegas. They went to Las Vegas to train. He said he likes to get out of town sometimes to train for these fights. He and his dad, who trains him, and they felt they had a good camp.
He did get in there with a very quick combination a moment ago, and he takes one right there from Santamaria.
That's the quick counterpunching for Santamaria. He's capable of it.
Yeah, you want to have good conditioning. You talked about the conditioning for Santamaria to keep that pace going for a very long time, which is the counterpunching, moving.
The right hands of Santamaria are starting to become a very good weapon for him.
That was a nice left by Ramos also to the body.
3-punch combination from Santamaria.
Nice one. And now Santamaria is doubling with the left hook.
Yeah, that was a beautiful uppercut from the outside from Santamaria.
When Ramos uses that jab, as we just saw a moment ago, the left hand can come in behind it, and it has.
Good body shot also from Ramos.
I think it's the best round of the fight overall for action.
See, I like what Ramos is doing now. He's throwing that left to the body. There it is again. He's trying to get Santamaria's attention to the body so he can put his hands down. There it is.
Yeah, much better round here, I think, for Ramos.
You do that 3 times there. You keep playing with the body, make him put his hands down and throw that left. There it is.
4 punches from Santamaria. Showboating on both parts, end of the round.
Escúchalo.
This is where we'll see the uppercut by Santamaria and him working downstairs and doubling with the hook. I missed with the one that I had, but Ramos coming right back to the body, and he's a very good body puncher. Later in the round, using the jab very effectively, Ramos was able to get the straight left hand in, and that, of course, is his ticket. That's his big power punch. And as Abner pointed out, he's very easy to tackle a little bit to get that punch in.
¿No hay más? Dame más, por favor. Sí, dame más.
A little more Vaseline.
Escúchame bien. Te quiero
Listen to me.
inteligente.
Listen to me. I want you to be nice and intelligent and start working the body. And don't stay
Es lo que quiero
on the
que
ropes.
lo desesperes, hijo.
Don't get desperate.
So we come to round 5 of this 10-round fight, and it's been a very competitive fight.
Yeah, a competitive fight in both ways. You know, you got Ramos putting the pressure, Santamaria being a good boxer.
You know, Ramos normally lands 40% of his punches to the body. He's landing 43% tonight, so he's on par with that.
And a good right hand a moment ago caught Ramos stepping in.
That was one of the keys out from Santamaria. You want to throw those flurries and get out. There it is.
3-punch combination and out of there.
And they caution Santamaria about getting caught against the ropes there, and right away he wheels away.
Well, he's fighting a very smart fight thus far, I believe.
Yeah, I was just about to say that he is fighting a really smart fight against a much bigger fighter in Ramos.
Yeah, Ramos is a guy that we know is ultimately maybe going to go to 160. Santamaria is a guy who definitely should be at 147.
Oh, and he says after this fight, I'm going back to 47.
Oh, watch the back of the head. Yeah. Watch it in the
Javier
back of the head.
Capetillo, his trainer and manager, said, this is a one-off for us, but we want to look impressive, which will help us when we get back to the other division and show people we're, he's a solid fighter.
Oh, he's definitely showing that. Making a case for that, no doubt. You can see a little bit of desperation too from Ramos. Not desperate. He's getting he's getting desperate. Meaning Ramos is not letting his hands go as much because Santamaria is making it really tough for him to hit. Look at that. Boxing really well.
Yeah, staying out of harm's way, stepping in with combinations. Always combination, rarely just one punch. There it is again, 2-punch combination. And right now, Ramos just can't seem to quite figure him out.
Well, he's not cutting off the ring very effectively.
Right,
That's a big issue. The exit route is always there for Santamaria.
And the jab, he's not pawing with the jab as much.
Yeah, he stopped using the jab a lot.
And he got out quick right there on that flurry. Come with the right hand.
And he knows he lets go of his flurry. He knows Santamaria is going to come back with just one punch, and Santamaria comes right back. I mean, Ramos comes back with one punch.
Straight right hand from Santamaria at the bell. And speaking of tickets, we have a record crowd on hand here tonight at the Barclays Center, in excess of 16,000 people. And just taking a look from our seat, I don't see an empty seat way, way up in the nosebleed section even. Oh, now they're saying 19,000.
Yeah, this is Tank Davis has become an interesting ticket seller, a good ticket seller, really now for several years, has been so consistent in selling tickets everywhere, in all kinds of venues. So it's a great, exciting night.
Yeah, this is a great crowd here.
Good shift right there by Santamaria.
Yeah, so far Ramos just cannot figure out this enigma in front of him.
And Santamaria called it at the fighter meetings. He said, I'm going to box him. People don't think I can box, and I can box, and he's showing that tonight.
And he used the famous phrase. He said, I'm going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
Yes, he did.
I heard that before.
A famous guy said that once, didn't he?
Yeah. Again, just two quick shots and then get out of there.
Wheels away. Yeah, flurry, then move.
And Ramos making it easy for Santamaria. I mean, I don't like to use words like that easy because it's never easy, but Ramos just standing right in front of Santamaria.
See how Santamaria switched to lefty briefly, then went right back to righty. Oh, that's textbook boxing, right, Abner? He throws the combination, gets out of the corner.
And Ramos just was kind of pawed at him. There's a nice combination from Ramos, but Santamaria comes right back. Let's bring in Steve Farah now at the halfway point of this fight. Steve, how are you seeing it?
Well, guys, it doesn't happen often, but I think I love when announcers disagree on scoring, and I think you guys disagree from me. So you can yell at me all you want, but I gave Ramos the first 3 rounds. I thought they were pretty close, but I thought he was landing the bigger shots, especially with the left hand and punching to the body. Santamaria last 2 rounds very close. I think you can make an argument that either guy won 4 of the 5 rounds. So I have Ramos ahead 48-47.
That is really interesting. Now, Steve and I have been doing fights together and known each other for I don't know how many years. We almost always agree on scoring. But tonight we have 1 round. 1 round the same.
Yeah, and now in this round, Ramos is starting to get his left-handed. Even though Santamaria had such a good start in this round, Ramos is coming back with some good power punches. And those first 2 rounds were close.
Time.
Well, of course, with 19,000 people on hand, you would expect some of the glitterati, and to be sure, we have all of that here at the Barclays Center tonight for this big fight. And there's a look at Sean Porter, one of the truly good guys in boxing.
On round 6, we have
Sean looking for the camera. It's right here.
That's my guy right there, Sean.
One of the really good guys in the sport of boxing. There's Jose Valenzuela. You just heard Jim Gray speak with him a little bit. He's 12-0 with 8 knockouts along the way.
Yeah.
Vito Milnicki, local guy. And, we've known him since he was just a wee tot. And doing very well in his career. Tracy McGrady, 7 times an NBA All-Star and a Hall of Famer. He's on hand here. And so too, how do you like this, huh? Madonna, a rare appearance from Madonna. Draws a huge round of applause.
Wow, if he could bring Madonna to his stadium, oh my God, he's doing something right.
Material girl here herself.
Meantime, we got a heck of a fight going on here.
We do. Good combination there off the ropes by Santamaria as he tries to continue that work. I thought the last round Ramos started to get back into the flow of things better.
Yeah, and that's when he gets his punches going. Ramos, he's got the momentum going, the rhythm. You keep going with that, but when he falls into throwing 1-2 punches is when Santamaria has an easier chance of counterpunching.
And we just saw 2 right hooks to the body from Ramos. That's one of the missing elements in this fight. When he doesn't add that to his 1-2 arsenal, he's got a problem.
Right now, Ramos throwing more punches, being more active, working the body more.
Nice sportsmanship.
Santamaria not doing quite as much in this round. And Ramos making it pay. Missed twice, and Ramos back with the left hand.
Oftentimes the Santamaria jab is underused, and I think you can say that about the last couple of rounds. He's underused that punch a little bit.
A sharp left hand from Ramos.
A money maker from Ramos. Yeah, that was a beautiful left. And not really timing his punches, Ramos.
Much better.
A lot better, yeah. Santamaria needs to go back to the flurries, going back to throwing punches and moving.
Yeah, it's almost like Ramos got a wake-up call here. Good left hand from Ramos. Santamaria, they're going to take a backward step. Another left hand from Ramos.
And Ramos has mixed in his body attack a lot better in this round.
And that blow to the back of the head, I think, might have dazed Santamaria for a moment. He backed off.
And he complained to referee Mercanti about that.
Yeah, there's another good right hand from Ramos.
Yeah, Santamaria had just missed with the uppercut. At a long distance.
Yeah,
he went
a bad idea.
Yeah,
right?
bad idea, and he got hooked. Yeah. Really good round for Ramos. This
very good. By far the best round of the fight for him. A lot of missing from Santamaria now.
Right, step back.
Some of the work that Jesus Ramos was able to do in that last round, and there you see the right hook downstairs, a key element for him, and upstairs. And of course, what does that do? That helps sets up the straight left. And we'll take a look at another look, and you'll see the work he does downstairs, and then comes up with that hook, and then the straight left hand. That was the second part of that combination that we saw before, and. When he varies his attack, Ramos is very effective with those punches.
I want to see you keep attacking the bottom, walk to your left. When he picks up his guard, he's giving you your quick jab or quick right, come under the body, and then go out.
Round eight, Chet.
So this is round 8 of this 10-round fight. Ramos coming off what we at this table feel was his best round of the fight.
One of the problems Santamaria has is even at 147, he was not a major puncher. Very good boxer who won fights because of his skill set. When you put him up at 154, he's definitely not going to be a large puncher. So keeping off a big man like Ramos and doing enough to really change the flow of a fight is difficult.
Yeah, we kind of got a sense early on that
sharp left hand. I'm sorry, Abner.
No, that Santamaria was definitely not looking for a one-punch, KO. He chose to move, flurries, switch, but it's the aggression that Ramos, the weight that he's putting in, that is tiring a little bit. Santamaria, especially in these last rounds.
Ramos really started to pressure Santamaria as well. Good body shot. Santamaria misses the left hand.
Ramos has landed 41% of his power punches, which is right everything but a jab, and that is right on par with what he normally lands.
Right here. Yeah, that's it.
On Steve's card, officially a 3-point edge now for Ramos.
And much will depend on those early rounds, how they were scored.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, nice hook by Ramos and the straight left hand.
Yeah, and it's every time that Santamaria tries to throw that uppercut from a long distance. Yep. It's already 3 times. You got to be careful. He already got you twice.
Right hand again. Ramos, good shot.
I think the big headline of the last 4 or 5 rounds has been that the right hook has been a big part of what Ramos has done. Early in the fight with just the jab and the straight left, he was a little predictable, but now he's adding the hook in there.
Keep it clean.
Yeah, we talked about that. If you add that third punch, it's there. He's landing the straight left hand. Let go of the hook.
Yeah, Ramos now in clear control of this fight, but as you pointed out, Al, it's the early rounds that may tell the tale.
And look who's pressuring now, Santamaria.
Yeah, it's interesting that he's coming forward.
On a break, no hitting on the break. Step back when I say break. Okay.
Well, I think he senses that he might need to do something to change the flow of this fight, if he can.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. He's feeling that he's losing these rounds, and he needs to do a little bit more, which is acceptable. You want to do that, you switch it.
Left hook to the top of the head again. Nice combination once more from Ramos. Ramos right now the sharper and the stronger of the two.
Boxing game for a long time, and he hopes to make something big happen tonight.
Round 9, man.
Meantime, we come to round 9 here. And Luke Santamaria is going to have to do something to stem the flow.
And he's trying. He went right at it, Santamaria. We got a sense of that in the last round, that he wanted to put pressure.
Ramos 2-0 in 10 rounders. Santamaria 3-1. I alluded to his loss to Paul Kroll in a 10-round fight.
2 good body shots. And Santamaria comes with an uppercut of his own.
Yeah, I love it when more Ramos stays in there. When he lets go of the body shots and then he closes with the hook.
Yeah, and he's getting a lot closer with that.
Watch your heads, watch your heads.
Left hand a few times just grazed the chin of Santamaria.
And fights like this do a lot for a fighter like Ramos, because he's not going to knock everybody out in the 154-pound division as he keeps going up. And it's necessary to put rounds together in fights like this. And he's done that after, you know, Santamaria showed his boxing skill in this fight.
Yeah, the last few rounds he's been very, very good.
Yeah, it was when Santamaria had to, was using the ring, boxing good, making it hard for Ramos to hit him.
And while Santamaria is still showing good movement, his counterpunching has not been quite as effective as it was early. Although he landed one there.
2-3.
Yeah.
Oh, but Ramos just comes back with this.
Ramos.
Santamaria thought in this fight that by the 5th or 6th round, he actually might be able to attack a little bit more. It hasn't quite worked out that way for him. And remember, he did kind of try at that period to push Ramos back, and he wasn't able to accomplish it.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to push a much bigger Ramos back. I think he tried, and he, he just couldn't.
Yeah.
He felt the heavy Ramos.
Neither man's been that was a good counter by Santamaria, but neither man's been as effective with their punches that they'd like in this round, but Ramos has just done a little bit more, probably.
Santamaria is still busy, but not as effective. There's 2 shots to the body, however. Right hand over the top from Ramos.
Yeah, Santamaria doing some nice counterpunching in this round, but is it enough?
Watch that. Ramos, you can just see loading up for the kill shot.
Not just bust out, I want you to hurt him. Not just fucking no, I want you to anchor down, breathe deep. And I want you to land solid shots. You got a lot of power, Luke, that you don't even know, because sometimes you're moving. So when you anchor down, I want you to anchor, look, chin down, hands up, swing the waist with show. I want you to go to swing now. Okay. I don't care you hit them anywhere now. Head. Okay. Do not play this at the end. Straight shot. Right? Straight shot.
Keep throwing it. Keep throwing it this last round. Let's impress in this last round. Let's go.
So 10th and final round here, and we'll see if Santamaria has anything that could turn the tide here.
You know, Javier Capetillo, I think that's really good corner work. He knows where Santamaria is in his fight. He also knows Santamaria has a good chin, that he can take some chances and maybe make something happen in this round. But he even told him, he said, you have to set down on your punches, and that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, he said, believe in your power. You have power. Sit down on your punches. And I like his determination. You know, he kicked the stool and he didn't sit down in this last round, Santamaria.
Luke Santamaria is a delightful guy. You know, we had fun visiting with him, and he's a smart young man, and he's a solid boxer. So.
Well, and especially at 147, I think he can give a lot of people trouble.
And he has in those upset wins, so we'll see. Oh, he did push Ramos back a little bit there.
He's taking those chances, and you want to in this last round. Good job from Santamaria.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, remember, the first 3 rounds could be very pivotal in the scoring of this fight.
I like that high guard from Santamaria right now. Still trying to counterpunch him.
And doing a little more switching to lefty in this round, which actually is surprising me because I think he's more powerful as a righty, and they wanted to set down on his power.
Yeah, Ramos not doing anything extra other than just, the 1-2 punch.
Keep him off him.
Yeah.
Nice shot there with the right hand from Ramos.
Yeah, I think Ramos feels like he's in the driver's seat and he doesn't want to make any serious mistakes here. We don't know, of course, because we don't know what the judges ultimately are saying.
Let go, break. Step back.
Yeah, Ramos not doing anything careless here.
Santamaria is landing some nice right hands, and they might be winning him this round.
Could be.
Whether it's enough to get him there, but it's possible.
It's time to close the show if you're Santamaria.
Left hand.
And a good right by Santamaria.
Got Ramos off in the final 10 seconds of this fight.
Watch your head, break.
And it's over. And a very good last round, I thought, for Santamaria.
Yeah, he did have a very good last round. I don't know if it's enough to merit him feeling like he won the fight, but he did come back and do it. And what he demonstrated, in my opinion, in this fight is that there was no way he was such a giant underdog. This man, Ramos, is a really good prospect at 154 pounds, excellent fighter, but Santamaria also good. It's just that moving up in weight, it certainly didn't help him.
Yeah, that was a good point. Yeah, well said. Definitely Santamaria came here to, get the win, and we still don't know. It was a close fight, good fight.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to those first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And we look at the numbers, and it demonstrates a couple of things. We talked about the fact that the power punching of Ramos, he lands 40%, everything other than the jab, but Santamaria was landing at a good percentage as well. Ramos went to the body very effectively in this fight, and that started around round 3 or 4, and he continued it.
So we'll see how this comes out. It was a slow start for Ramos, and he did manage to get things very much his way through the middle rounds, and then the last round, Santamaria came on again. So interesting fight, another difficult fight to score here. We have very experienced judges here, though. We want to say that.
Yeah, and that's another thing that Ramos might and should learn from this fight. You can't start slow, and you want to keep a momentum going, and when he has it, speaking of Ramos, when he lets his hands go, that's the hook especially, it's really good.
Now, we don't know how this fight's going to turn out, but one of the things that Ramos did do that we had in the keys to victory was the straight left hand. And he was able to get that punch in on a number of occasions. That one got in there and threw it to both the body and the head. And there you see him doubling with it. And one of the reasons this was able to get in, you see him using these jabs to help set it up. When you use the jab, you're going to get the straight left hand in. And the interesting thing is, these are the kind of left hands, like in his last fight, it scored a knockout. He did not knock out Santamaria or put him down with that left hand, which is, you know, speaks a lot to Santamaria.
So it is in the hands of the judges. We will find out the official decision of this fight in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, the judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Mark Constantino, scores about 98-92. Ken Ezzo and Steve Weisfeld both scored about 97-93. All three in favor of the winner, and still undefeated, Jesús El Mono Ramos.
So Ramos wins it in rather lopsided fashion, I would say, and they did give those first rounds to Ramos, and that really was the biggest difference in the fight. Let's go to Jim Gray up the center of the ring. Jim?
All right, Barry, thank you very much. Jesus, congratulations to you. Very important for you to avenge the loss of your uncle, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course. You know, it wasn't the way we wanted to win, but I think it takes two to tango, and tonight it was only me wanting to fight.
And how would you assess your performance here tonight? Are you satisfied?
No, you know, I'm not satisfied. I think I could have done a lot better, but like I said, it takes two to tango, and tonight Santamaria didn't want to fight.
In so far as you could have done better, in what area?
I think I could have pressed a little more, worked the body a little more. He was kind of slippery in there, so we didn't want to risk anything. He would counter, so I didn't want to get too careless in there, so I was kind of staying composed and at my distance.
And what would you like to do with this next?
You know, we're going to go back, watch the fight, and grow from it. You know, from these fights we grow. I win 10 rounds again, and it's going to help me mature a lot more. And then,
Jesus, appreciate your time. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Barry, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Jim. So the winner is Ramos, and he does so in rather impressive fashion, I would have to say. I mean, he went out there and did the job, blue-collar kind of job. Let's put it that way.